For the last 150,000 years, mankind has longed for a time when all human knowledge and wisdom could be at our fingertips.
And with the internet and mobile devices, that time has finally come.
However, there have been some unexpected consequences. Like when you try to talk someone into being in a permanent relationship with you.
So, if you were to take your online persona and all the people that you meet on the internet and put them in a real life environment, you get this piece. I really, really liked it. I thought it was absurd and over the top and funny, but also like maybe a little bit too realistic. Like that last section in the bookstore, it seems like an exaggeration, but it is literally what it's like trying to navigate a mom group on Facebook. Like no word of a lie. Um, so that piece and actually the whole thing in general just made me think about the fact that it's so wonderful that we have access to all this information and we can connect with each other so quickly, but it can also be really overwhelming and maybe not the best for our mental health and our relationships. So yeah, this was a fantastic satire, really interesting and creative, and I really liked watching it.
I really like the concept of there's an app for that. I really like the commentary of like the societal commentary of like where technology is nowadays and where it could possibly lead us if we're not careful. I like the satirical take. I like the satirical approach to this. It was really good writing, especially that first vignette. That first vignette when they're talking, that like back and forth banter was excellent. It was very entertaining. So, because it kept me guessing, it kept me asking questions, and it kept me guessing like where is this going. So, really good writing. Good job.
I thought this was really interesting. I liked that there were different things included, like different little stories, I suppose, included within this. I thought that that was really fun and uh, it kind of just takes the concept, and I think it's interesting to kind of run with this idea of how many apps we use for different things, but really that like for the most part our first instinct when we have like an issue or we're trying to do something new or we're trying to do whatever, we either like Google it or see if there's an app for it. And that is kind of a part of today's society, or it's working towards that. And so I thought that kind of taking that concept, which is accurate, and really following it through to like the comical place of how much we use apps to meet people, how much we use apps to date people, that we use different apps for different versions of dating, that there seems to always be an app fix, as it were. And I just thought that this was really interesting. I liked how it was done. I liked that you had different little snippets within it. I thought that it was really fun.
I thought that there's an app for that did a good job of establishing a tone and a flow of dialogue that was consistent. And I liked that certain actors were in different scenes and that there seems to be an ensemble being built to deliver these sketches. I think that the ideas of how technology has changed the way that we evaluate our needs and also how we interact socially and romantically is so incredibly relevant to all of us. And I think that there are endless ways to explore that through the scenarios that were presented here. And I think it can only continue on in a positive way that is both funny and also hopefully causes some introspection from the viewer.
The reason that this film is so brilliant is that it exaggerates and magnifies what is really happening in our society. People often use technology to replace real connection. The various settings are perfect, such as the coffee shop, the funeral parlor, and the bookstore. And the performances are amazing, my favorite being the funeral director, so believable, selling the online wares to the grieving mom. I also love the stressed out real parents, so funny. Though this film is entertaining, it is also a societal warning to us all to make sure we don't get overwhelmed by a virtual world which can detach us from true human relationships. Excellent job.
This was an attempt to be a kind of a satirical take on how technology is making relationships and all our sort of life issues into commodities and things like that, which is a good premise. You need to put normal people into the crazy world and see them try to deal with that. And all I see is kind of crazy people in a crazy world, and it's just not very funny because you have nothing to balance it with. So the tone was just all wrong. So it was like, a solid 25 minutes of not very funny. Sorry.
They have very funny situations and twists to real life concerns that we currently have in our modern society, with some hilarious exaggerations on some of the most frequent concerns or the more popular problems that people are having, and how apps apparently are fixing everything. And they do a great commentary on dividing the society between poor and wealthy, and it is, to my point, a comedy, but it has so many truths behind it. I just want to keep watching it. It was just very sensibly, and even with the sarcasm, over exaggeration, and all those dialogue they resource to for making this point, everyone joining in the conversation and just everyone having an opinion on what you should do, or it was just daily life. I totally felt related there, and I truly enjoyed it.